What's going on, people? Alex here with another video. It's Banlist season and predictions are here. My predictions. I know most of YouTubers already made this, the popular ones. We're not there yet, we're scrubs at this level. I know most of the YouTubers already made their Banlist predictions like 2 weeks ago or so, last week. And Banlist hasn't come out yet, as in right now, as in March 2nd. So I think it's best time to put my 2 cents out there and see if you guys agree or disagree. Given a different perspective, what I think could come back and could get hit. So remember, like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the new subscribers. Special favorite woo. Shout out to the people that watch us in Europe. You guys are the best. And I love European OTS cards. Like, you guys kill it over there, and you guys do way better events. You have better price support than America. First card I have banned, and it's gonna stay banned. That grass looks greener. I don't think it's the right time for the grass to come back. I mean, I could see scenarios where it could come back to 1, but then you put in a lot new decks into the format. Infernoids, Light Swarms, which they are doing nothing. You could Ash, that grass looks greener. And if you only put a 1, a lot of players are playing, they're gonna start playing Left Arm Offering, which searches it. So I think keeping grass banned right now is the best scenario. If it comes back to 1, it wouldn't surprise me. And shockingly, I don't think it'll change the meta a lot. I think only 1 or 2 decks could really use it, but then Light Swarms, what are they really gonna do with all that grave? I mean, Orcs is not really gonna do anything tier 1, tier 2 scenarios, but I think grass it's gonna stay banned. I think a lot of people are saying grass coming in 1 because of new reptile support. Yes, but that doesn't come out until like November. So there would be no point of doing that now. Plus, they have a card that's coming out that says Foolish Burial 5 monsters or so, and Monster Reborn. So that's a better grass and a better snake ray at the same time. So I think grass will stay banned. That's just my 2 cents on it. And same thing goes with Max C. Max C is not gonna come back yet. I don't think Max C can come back right now. I don't think it's gonna come back this year. I just don't see Max C coming back at 1 or at 3 or at 2. I just don't see it. Yes, you do have outs. Yes, you have TTT that can counter it. I see it staying banned, so that's enough of that. It stays banned. My one and only banned card that I have that I think would get banned, and I think is the most reasonable hit, would be Bird Anaconda, just because it cheats out Dragoon, but not in the tier 1 decks. Tier 1 decks are not really using. Dogmatica's not using it. Eldritch is pretty much moving away from Dead. Tier 2s, tier 3s, and your rogue categories are pretty much the only decks that are pretty much putting Red Eyes out there. That guy right here, Red Eyes, forgot his name. But I think Anaconda, it's a card that could get hit, potentially go get banned. What is that gonna do for control decks that are really using this? Guru's the one notable using it. They're just gonna play more Red Eye stuff, Insight to search Red Eyes Fusion and go that way. And especially when you have the hidden city, you can set your monster, flip it, and get its effect the same turn as you have Red Eyes out there. They're the ones that really can abuse it. But besides that, you're not really seeing that in the other rogue decks, So I think Predaplant's time has come. I think it's time to push new support. And you can't really push new support if you have a boss monster like Red Eyes Fusion. If you ban Red Eyes Metal, Metal Dragon. Dragoon, if you ban Dragoon, then you just kill the Red Eyes archetype as well. I think Red Eyes Dragoon is a fair card to the extent that it should stay locked in, for the most part, in its own deck. Are really people gonna put 3 Insights and 3 Red Eyes Fusions to search this? Are they really gonna use 7 to 10 bricks in their deck just to summon a boss monster? I don't think so. So I think it'll get washed down the line. So that's my hit. Anaconda, you do that, you stop a lot of plays, something like that. So let's go to ones. My ones. I think 1, respectively, I think True King's All Camera can go to 1. I think we can all agree that True King's not a big force that we have to deal anymore. A lot of people are moving away from it. The only deck that really uses Virtual World, and not Virtual is doing too much in the meta contender. I think it gets toxic when you have 2 calamities. You do 1, and then 3 turns later you make it a second calamity. That's when it gets toxic. But I think most people can out 1 calamity easily for the top meta decks. Forget about Rogue. Rogue is not getting rid of, but we're not talking about Rogue here, we care about rogue players, but not too much. But I think Calamities at 1 would make Virtual World just this one boss monster. But if you ban it, then Virtual World really goes down, because what are you gonna end up? The one that banishes everything? That's cute and all, but like that's it. Like that's it. I mean, Calamities could get banned as well. It could, you know, it could just get fucked in the ban list. But I say going to 1 more like a Konami thing than actually just ban it, so they can keep Virtual World around. Other cards that I have at 1 would be Scarlet of Elixir of Scarlet of Sanguine. The only reason I have this at 1, and I think it doesn't really matter what you hit in Eldritch. Eldritch is gonna be a tier 1. I'd rather search Sanguine, have more ways to search Sanguine than Sanguine searching Conquistador, if that makes sense. If Sanguine goes to 1, what would happen? People would just play the Black Magic. I think it's the spell card that's called the Black Stone. If you hit that, I mean, people are gonna play that 2 or 3, and they're still gonna play the trap. So I don't see much happening in Eldritch. If you hit Curse Airland, which some people were saying hit Curse Airland to 2 or 1, you're killing the deck to a point, because Curse Airland can't be searchable. You have to hard draw it. Yes, I understand you have ways to draw a lot of cards, you know, Magician Souls being one of them. Now you have the new pot card that can do it as well. You have extravagant builds, etc., etc. So there's ways to for you. But if you put it at 1, then the deck, you're gonna pull a lot of people away from it. So, and us having a lot of back row removal, Cosmic Cyclone, Twin Twister, Lightning Storm. So I think Sanguine going to 1 is the best hit, just to keep Golden Lord around the meta. A card I have coming back, it's Orcas Horror, just because I think Orcas, it's trash, and I think you put Harp to 1, it would push Orcas to be a little more competitive, but not to the point to take over the meta. I think Orcas would go from Rogue to a tier 2, maybe 1.5, and that's it. Like, what do you, I mean, Orcas doesn't do anything unfair if you really think about it. Yes, it's a control deck. Yes, it's a mid-range deck. But what are you gonna, like, turn 2, turn 3, yeah, you might summon access code. Yeah, you have Dingirsu that sense and protects your cards. But realistically, is that bad, honestly? I mean, I think if Orcas puts Harp to 1, at least you have a chance to beat Eldritch and Dogmatica, which are the strongest decks right now. I think it's a little bit easier now. But I just have Harp going to 1. I think it's fair. Give us Harp to 1. I think it's fair. Plus, you increase the price of Girsu, which is like $30 already, so there's more value for your Megatens reprint. So there's stuff that Konami could do that way in the business point of view. Our card also coming back. Only reason I have it coming back is for the following. I think Thunder Dragon Colossus can come back at 1, but hear me out, right? Calm down. Don't dislike this video. Calm down. Relax. I think Thunder Dragon Colossus can come back at 1 if Thunder Dragon Hawk goes back. He goes to 1. Why? Because Hawk is the monster reborn in the deck. Hawk, you pitch it, you monster reborn a monster, you contribute that, you use the effect, you can go into Colossus. OCG, I believe they had Colossus at 1 and then Hawk at 1 to make it. I think it's fair if you put Hawk to 1 and then Colossus at 1. Yes, Colossus won't terrorize the meta as it did before. Yes, you will get advantage. It would still be a combo deck for the most part. But you have cards like Droplets, you have cards like Forbidden Chalice, I believe is the ones. You have cards like that can out it in the competitive form. Now, when we talk about local, tier 2, tier 3, I think it will be a little harder for people to come back. But that's the only reason I have Colossus coming back to 1 if Hawk goes to 1. That's the only scenario I see. Something you guys might not like, and you're pretty much gonna disagree with me, it's Meltdown at 1. I think it's time for invoked stuff to get hit, just because it's being mixed with Dogmatica and Shadows and everything like that, and those are tier 1 contenders, tier 1.5, and Konami likes to hit field spells. They just like hitting field spells to 1 to 0. Look at look at Diagram, look at Trickstar, Life Stage, I think that's what it is. They're all at 1. I think Meltdown is just hit consistency. I'd rather see 3 Alistairs than 3 Meltdowns. Plus, you can interact when they're fusion summoning, so that's kind of a little bit, quote, unfair, if you want to call it. But I don't have a problem if Meltdown stays at 3. Meltdown goes to 2, I wouldn't care. But I think the right choice and something Konami will do, it's hit Meltdown at 1. It's something that out of nowhere, not a lot of people are paying attention. And Meltdown on 1 will prevent a lot of consistency. Plus, this is an indirect hit to Dogmatica invoked, so, and all the invoked berries that you see around. So, something controversial as well would be Electromight going back to 1. I see this coming back to 1 just because if they want to push the new Pendulum archetype, but maybe not this list, but the following, they could just throw the 1 support. Will Pendulums be a tier 1 again? There's a lot of interactions at this point in the game. There's a lot of hand traps in the game that would stop this, but I think it's a fair trade if you give us Electromight back to 1, and if we give you Chronograph Sorcerers to 1. Just to be safe, because I know Chrono can do, like, Chrono is not as good as Astrograph, and remember, Astrograph is banned. We did get the other Pendulum card, what's it called, Iris, back at 1, I think, or 3, I could be wrong, I don't remember that one. But I think just to be in the safe side and note, I would give 2 Chronographs and play 1 Chronograph and 1 Electromight just for consistency, and you don't want to give him too much power to Pendulums. You start bringing a lot of these older decks back, a lot of fan favorite decks, Thunder Dragons, Orcas, Pendulums, a lot of these pieces back, bring a lot more people into the meta. You create a surge to start reprinting also these cards in Battles of Legend, your March reprint sets, your April sets, you know. You start, okay, I'm gonna throw this in, was it Ancient Guardians? That's a reprint set. You can throw a lot of these cards that are coming off the list to make money off of it potentially. So looking at the business perspective as well. So there's that. I have Ben 10 also going to 1. No, I'm just lying. Going to 2s. I have Ben 10 going to 2 because I don't think they're gonna ban Ben 10. And I don't think they put Ben 10 at 1. I think Ben 10 at 2, it's something Konami would do. Just put it at 2. Hit consistency on Drytrons. Drytrons are fairly new still. So I think put Ben 10 at 2. It's perfectly fine. And it wouldn't change anything really besides consistency. By the way, they can loop the same Ben 10 time and time again. So would that really hit anything? No, they'll probably just play Upstart or something. Something like that. So also what I have going at 2, it's Called by the Grave. Hand traps. People are maining 10 to, I'd say 9 to 12 hand traps per deck. So I think putting Called by the Grave at 2 would be perfectly fine. Plus, we are moving into a graveyard synergy meta. So I think what best way to include Called by the Grave going 2, not a 3, because I think 3 combo decks are starting to come back up. But I think 2 Called by the Graves, indirectly you're helping Dragon Link. Indirectly you're helping the mirror match against Eldritch. You're helping the Dogmatica matchups. You're hurting Shaddolls, you're hitting the Invoked, you're pretty much hitting everything that's graveyard synergy. And Called by the Grave is always welcome at 2, hand traps, and I think Konami, I don't think Called by the Grave could be at 3 right now, but I think Called by the Grave at 2, it's perfectly fine. You help to combat Drytrons. There's so much thing that Called by the Grave would be extremely welcome to the meta. Going to Unlimited. What I think it should be Unlimited. I think True Draco card should be Unlimited. It's a diagram. I think Dynamite should be a 3. It's a 1. Just give us a 3. Like, give it to Draco players. They're not doing anything. They literally lose to Lightning Storm. So they don't have an Omni Negate besides Judgments and Strikes, but like besides that, it's a one-trick pony. It can't recycle. It can't be consistent enough as Eldritch, which is a powerhouse. And I think Draco could just come back. As long as you leave Diagram and Masterpiece where they at right now, I think Draco can come back with 3 Dynamite and 3 True King's Return. I think that's fair. And I don't see anything else that could come off of the list at this. That's all I got for my Banlist prediction. I hope you guys liked it and liked my little animations. You know, hope you guys weren't bugged too much for it. Haha. You get it, because, you know, a bug's life. Haha. Okay, that's enough. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, share. Help your boy get a job as a professional YouTuber. You know, not really, but I like doing these videos for you. And I have a Market Watch coming to you guys, I believe, Thursday, with a lot of stuff. And of course, Banlist reaction video. We gotta have that. You guys like seeing this, you know, this face. So, and you guys like seeing my stuff up there and shit I got in the back, and yeah, a lot of shit in the back. So thank you all for watching. y'all be safe, and remember, like, comment, subscribe, help your boy, help your boy.